Today I'd like to share a little bit of a case study that highlights the benefit of the different communities. But first of all, I wanted to ask you guys if you've ever had this experience where all of a sudden your refrigerator just dies and you get to the refrigerator like, uh-oh, something's wrong here. And just having to know what's going on. You've got all this expensive food in the refrigerator, your Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey's about to melt, all that steak that you bought's going to go bad, and you're just like, oh crap, I got to take care of this right away. So that's what happened to our chief marketing officer. That's not her in the picture there, by the way. So it's, a summer weekend. She's got all this family coming over, all the food that she's bought, and she's got to quick figure out, what to do with her refrigerator. So, she's very, tech savvy and resourceful. She goes online and she's trying to find, where do I get a new refrigerator? What refrigerator should I get? What's the right model for me? And, one website after another, and she's just getting more frustrated and confused as she goes along. She's like, why am I doing this? I have all these energy efficiency experts at SMUD that could just tell me the right refrigerator to buy. So from that experience, she's like, wouldn't it be great if SMUD could provide this information to our customers so they didn't have to go through the same exercise that she did? So out of her bad experience, it resulted in a product development opportunity for us. So she reached out to our product development team and to market research and asked us to come up with a solution. So we used our 3 insight communities to help to support the development of our first online marketplace, which is called the SMUD Energy Store. So our communities were involved in several different phases of the development of the SMUD Energy Store. So you can see, kind of going around from 12 o'clock on, we went through, these are just actually some of the phases, but the residential community SMUD Plugged In was involved in the concept development, which I'll tell you a little bit more about. They were involved in the feature validation research, where we wanted to see what features were important to them. And in the naming research, they actually helped to come up with a name for the SMUD Energy Store, which we originally were calling the SMUD Marketplace. And then our residential community, SMUD Currents, they were also involved in the ad testing and the beta testing for the SMUD Energy Store. And then lastly, our commercial panel was involved in product expansion, where we wanted to see, we found out, this is something that's working for our residential customers. Would this work well? Would it be of interest to our commercial customers as well? So I'll go into a little bit more detail about a couple of those phases. So one of the first steps in our product innovation process was to do a co-creation, like a 4-stage co-creation project with our residential insight community. So we had 4 different phases. We had kind of a generation phase where we were asking them to help come up with some ideas for the concept of the marketplace. In the second phase, there was an evaluation of some of those ideas that were generated. And then in the third phase, there was some refinement of those ideas. And then in the last phase, it was more about selecting and voting for those final ideas. So we had a really good experience with this. This was done over about 1 week for each phase of it, and really good participation. We had like 30% of our residential community participating in this throughout the process. So I'll go into a little bit more detail. For the first phase, where we wanted to generate the concepts for the marketplace, we use what-if statements. We wanted to ask our customers, what if SMUD had an online store? What would it look like? What features would you want in that platform? What kind of products would you want to be able to buy there? How would you want to be treated? Like what kind of features, what kind of products, sorry, say that again, how would it work, how would you learn about it? And what they did is they responded to this in kind of a paragraph form. We had 86 different entries for that. And we went through all those different entries. We picked the ones that like the top 30 that we thought were unique enough and were well thought out enough. And that went out to the panel again, and then they voted on those, and we came up with the top 10. And after going through the top 10, what we did is we had them do some refinement in some discussion boards that people could make some changes, give feedback on those concepts, and then they went back out again for another vote after they had been refined. So at the end of that, we got 10 really strong customer-generated, customer-vetted ideas that we could use for our marketplace. And we picked one of them that we considered the winner, that got the most votes, and we thought was the best idea, and that community member got a check for $500. So it was really exciting. Everybody really participated well, and it's really exciting to know that the concepts or the features that were in the concepts are actually in that final marketplace. So we're really excited to see that. I also had mentioned that our employees were involved in helping us with the development of the SMUD Energy Store. So we asked them to help look at some of the TV ads before we placed those. And we also had them do some evaluation of the platform that we use for our SMUD marketplace. And some of the things that they evaluated were the selection of products that are on the store right now. They also looked at the ease of navigation and the checkout process. And we also asked them to report any usability issues that they might have encountered. We had them visit the store, spend a few minutes on there, kind of go through the checkout process, and then provide some feedback if they found any issues. And it was really helpful to get their feedback before we launched it to the general public, because we wanted to make it the best experience as possible. Then we also, I think I mentioned just briefly, we reached out to our commercial customers because we were having good success with the residential customers and wanted to find out, what they thought of it. Would this be the type of product that would be valuable to them, and what kind of products should be on there for commercial customers? And we also wanted to find out, if they had any other ideas for new products that we might want to include. So this just gives you a quick look at what our SMUD Energy Store looks like. You can get a really good deal with a free Google Home Mini if you buy any Nest thermostat. And it's been really fun to watch it, go from that very early concept stage. And it's just been, I think, like under 2 years. So for an electric utility, it's pretty exciting to get something that we started from scratch all the way to market in under 2 years. And I want to share just a little bit of the metrics around it. We launched it in August of 2017, and we've already sold almost 13,000 products and had $1.5 million in sales. We have 10 different product categories and 175 different products, and we won it's kind of an electric industry Chartwell Award for program marketing. So our Insight community was very much involved in helping to test and provide feedback on the advertising for that. So we're really happy to see that we won an award there. So I don't think our SMUD Energy Store would have been successful without the feedback from our customers. We've done some products in the past that we've developed in-house, just kind of based on what we thought, it'd be a great idea if we did this. And some of those products have just kind of fallen flat. We had a carbon calculator that, was built, took many years, nobody ever uses it. There's like 12 people that have used it and, like it. But with this, we really were happy to have customers involved really early in the development and to just be continually getting their feedback as we're going through the whole process. And I don't think without having the Insight communities, we would have been able to afford to do that because each of those projects would have been, so much more costly. But this tool really enabled us to be a lot more agile, a lot more involved in it. And anytime we made a little change, we could go out and test easily. So we were able to iterate and test a lot more often.